Hi there guys, it's Anthony here from Cutting Edge Guitar, welcoming you to a new series of videos that I'm going to be doing about recommended albums. This is a conversation that I have with loads of students all the time on who should I listen to for such and such technique, who should I listen to for getting better at playing over changes, or who should I listen to for different genres and all that sort of thing. And I find it's a really interesting subject, and it's something that I like talking to about my students, so I thought that this would be really helpful for you guys as well. So the first album, and it's mainly albums that I want to talk about, because this kind of like albums are a thing that are dear to my heart, coming from the generation that I come from. So the first album that I want to recommend to you guys is this incredible guitar tour de force, Erotic Cakes by Guthrie Govan. So there's going to be loads of albums that I talk about in this series, and the thing is, I want to kick this off with this album because on your journey as a musician and as a music fan, certain albums just change your life. And this album was it for me. This is just, in my opinion, the most important guitar album ever. It's just unbelievable, the stuff that's on here. I mean, it came out in 2006, but even today, it is just another level. Like, nobody's got anywhere near Guthrie, in my opinion, in terms of musicality, technique, being able to play over changes, being able to play in a rock style, a jazz style, a fusion style, a country style, a blues style. You know, you name a guitar player that you like, and Guthrie can sound like him. It's just insane what this man is capable of on the guitar. But I think he's a bit of well, he started out as a bit of a YouTube phenomenon. At least that's where I found out about him from, back in, I don't know, probably sort of 2005, 6, maybe 2004. I'm not quite sure when I first started hearing about Guthrie, but his name started cropping up, and then all of a sudden, when this thing came out, it was just insane. So, but you know, being a teenager lad, I was about 17 when I first heard about Guthrie. I'd already been studying Ingve, Joe Satriani, Steve Vai, you know, all the big names. And I thought I'd heard it all. And then all of a sudden, when this guy came along, I was like, how can the bar possibly be raised that much again? I suppose that's just the way of life, isn't it? You know, if you go back in the timeline of guitar, you've got Hendrix, and then you've got people like Jimmy Page, then we have got Eddie Van Halen, then we've got Steve Vai. There's always someone who kind of comes along and makes everyone go, there's no way that anyone could be better than this guy, and then all of a sudden there is someone. Um, so for me, yeah, just the tunes that are on this album are staggering. They're really, really musical, but technically they're outrageous. I think that anyone who is a fan of guitar music could get something from this, and to be quite honest, even if you don't play the guitar, you'll probably like at least one or two songs on this album, and that's a rare thing for this kind of music. You know, technical instrumental guitar music tends to be for people like us that are, I'm guessing that whoever's watching this video is probably a guitarist. So you know, people like us, we tend to like instrumental guitar, and nobody else really does. um, and I think with this album, you know, a lot of people do like it. You know, tunes like Wonderful Slippery Thing. I always remember years ago when I first had this, I used to have it on in the car all the time. My sister used to absolutely love it. Well, she doesn't play the guitar. And yeah, so just there's loads of tunes on here. There's loads of chops, but there's loads of melody. There's wicked, cool chord progressions. There's all sorts of stuff. So if you are looking to get some inspiration, some fresh inspiration for your guitar playing, I would really, really recommend this album, and I'd recommend anything really that Guthrie's done. Check it all out because he's insane. But yeah, give Erotic Cakes a good listen. Um, CD versions. This is something about on this series. It's kind of more common, I suppose, really now to just download something, you either download it or you add it to a playlist. You might not even download it. Even downloads are becoming a bit old hat now. You add it to your playlist in your Spotify or your Apple Music, or whatever it is that you use. And yeah, I think that coming back from the talking about the generational thing of where I come from, it was always really nice to be able to buy the CD and have it in your hands, so that you could hold the music. There was this tangible thing that that you could then say, "This is what I've bought." I quite like that. So I've got loads of downloaded music, and I've got various music players. Of course I have. It's just the way things roll now. But obviously back in the day, I was all about the CD. This actually isn't the original CD that I bought as well. I've got two versions of this. The very first one that I bought it from the man himself at one of his gigs. He had a few albums sort of tucked away behind the stage at one of his gigs, and I walked up to him as a bit of a sort of sheepish 16 or 17-year-old and was like, "Oh, please, Mr. Govan, can I have one of your albums?" That was quite cool, actually, when he wasn't the man he is now. Like, he was actually approachable. He's probably, too well known now. So that was cool. But then this second one, actually, this one came from a student of mine who went to one of his gigs, and he actually got it signed. So he gave it to me because he knew that I would absolutely love it. I think he's got another one of his own somewhere anyway. But yeah, so I've got a signed copy of Erotic Cakes there. Super important thing for me. Okay, guys, I hope you found this helpful. Please do check out the album. If you want a notification the next time that I'm talking about another great CD or album that you might want to have, please do subscribe to the channel so you get a notification when I do it. And make sure you check out all of the other cool stuff that's on my channel. I've got loads of motivation videos, lessons, performance videos, all sorts of stuff, and loads of, guitar demos, gear demos, them sorts of things. Check it all out, and yeah, take care. I'll see you in the next video.